Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I for sure did. Uh, Needed that, needed the reset. Super solid weekend. Um, an eventful weekend. We had hodling on Friday. Dodgers forced to game 7. Dodgers win the World Series. I mean, what a weekend. And we had the time change. So, I live here in Los Angeles. Market for me opens at 6:30. I'm up at 5:30. So trust me, gaining that extra hour of sleep, you definitely feel it. So hope everyone had a really good weekend. And let's get into it. So we can see coming into Monday, SPY, right? We already swept the previous day high. You can clearly see our daily resistance levels being respected well on the dot. So as of now, pre-market, kind of an inside bar day starting off, but I think we'll break out eventually out of this. But if we do, really just seeing, if we can get some continuation towards this all-time high. As you know, after my breakdown that I did, not necessarily what I'm, wanting to see. I was hoping for, a break under this 679 and just continue to pull back. So we'll see. Qs, you can clearly see respecting its key levels here, up here on the dot. We are sitting above the previous day high on the Qs right now, not that far away from all-time highs. So still up here in this range, kind of forming a channel itself. Like I said, was also expecting a pullback type of day, but we'll see. This thing can really just gravitate towards all-time high. It can break and retest above it and continue to just make all-time highs. So we'll see, what Qs end up doing today. But obviously, I'm not really touching this fire of the Qs, but nevertheless, they are moving higher. I was just hoping we'll get like a pullback type of day. So Tesla, no surprise here. You can see what is Tesla doing? We already swept the previous day high, but we're sitting in between the previous day high, the previous day low, and we're sitting in this channel. So today will be day 6. Today will be day 6 that, Tesla is in between 466 and 450. So we are 100% forming a channel up here. So I'm gonna be cautious. I'm gonna be safe. If we get this pullback long up here, I'm sorry, down here at 450, I'm gonna be a little bit more patient on that confirmation, more of a conservative entry. So if price, pulls back and we move away from it just a little bit, that's fine. So what I mean is, we get a pullback, we retest. Even though, I'm gonna wait for strong buyers to step in, I just want to see price gravitate a little bit higher before I take that entry. Like I said, we're in a channel. We just swept the previous day high and we fell below that, so we took out these orders. It's not really what you want to see. So if I don't like the price action down here, I'm pretty much just going to wait, for this 466 break. That's really the A plus trade. That's the safest trade. But this thing is gravitating higher. It's taking the time. But like I always say, you kind of want to be in a position down here by the time we get, up here and towards all-time highs. Nvidia, very bullish. You can see we're already gravitating back towards all-time highs. You can see kind of have this little, just daily double bottom, right, curled up, and now we're moving higher. So, if this thing just gravitates towards all-time highs today, I'm hands off. Like I had in my pre-market plan, you can see pre-market, we actually already got this break and retest off our 205.15. I've been breaking that down a lot lately. We've been getting that a lot during the pre-market. You can look here to your left. This 205 is a highly respected level, right? Support, then turn resistant, turn back into support, and then it got that break and retest and continue to hold its support. So really for me, I'm just looking for that. If I can get that dip and rip at open on this name, I like it. And then obviously, if we fell into this, just looking for the pullback long to 201.05. So just gonna be patient and read the price action there. And then Apple, you can see buyers are really defending this 269.10. So if I can get, this pullback off this level, I definitely like it 100%. So just gonna be patient, but really coming in today, Apple and Nvidia are really kind of our main watches. Looking for this pullback long on Nvidia of 205. If it just shoots to the upside at open, I'm hands off. Apple, looking for, this pullback long off of 269. As you know, I don't trade the first 2-minute candle. So, if we can get like a pop and then some type of pullback and I see buyers step in, I like it. But you can clearly see this level just being defended. You can see it right now. It's being defended. So buyers are really defending this 269.10. So if I can get that pullback, I like it. I like all of this. Straight down equals straight up. A lot of thin volume in there to be filled. So I am a fan of that. So really, we're going to be looking at all three, but Nvidia and Apple are really going to be the main watches just because they're opening up near key levels. We got about 10 minutes now until market opens. So really my main watch, all three, you can see here are going to be my focus, but really Apple. If I can get, just something like that on Apple and see strong buyers step in, I'll like that shot. Mainly because Apple really is the main one that's just only sitting around a key level. Technically speaking, we still haven't swept this previous day's liquidity, so price could still gravitate towards this unmitigated liquidity. But as of right now, SPY is starting to break through the previous day high, which is expected. So really, yeah, my focus is just going to be on Apple, mainly because you can clearly see here that is really the only ticker beside Nvidia and Tesla that is sitting near a key level. So we'll see. I mean, this thing could just move higher. You can clearly see we're starting to see some buyers step up, but we never really got that pullback yet on that retest for today, at least during the pre-market. Previous day lows, still hasn't been swept, so something to be mindful of. But hey, if we just shoot up, so be it. I just missed that one. We'll see what Tesla does. Tesla, as we know, can move $20 on average in a single day. So if Tesla just wants to shoot up or pull back here or just sit in this channel, we shall see. But as of now, I don't really like the conditions that much. Just like I said, previous day high, previous day low, and in a channel, I'm not very fond of that. So we'll see what happens. about 8 minutes now till market opens. Looking at some news here, so just jump on the video, it's not surprised. Roughly 30 minutes ago, the U.S. approved chip sales to the UAE under Microsoft deal. So Nvidia stock climbs 2%. So that's no shocker. And then we do have red folder news at 7 a.m. So if nothing steps up prior to that, I'm just gonna be patient, let the first 30 minutes play out. Like I said, Apple's really the only one near a key level, but if we just rip at open, I have to be patient anyway because I won't have anything sitting near a key level. As we know, news invalidates technical analysis. So we'll see what happens at 7 a.m. with that red folder news. Because I was curious on why this Nvidia just jumped like kind of out of nowhere, but all right, now that makes sense. So we shall see. Tesla's a frustrating one. Tesla's definitely a frustrating one. Let's go here in the hourly and see what's starting to form that. Yeah, today would be day 6, kind of crazy. So, yep. All right, we got about 4 minutes here. I was just preaching how Apple has not swept the previous day's low liquidity, and you can clearly see we just did that on the dot by 4 cents. So, I'm sorry, not by 4 cents. 269.10, we broke to 269.05, perfect. So, crazy. I was just saying how this thing did not sweep it, and it did that on the dot. So, we shall see what happens. Yeah, really nothing going on movement wise. Like I said, you can see Q's is sitting above its previous day high. SPY has now got over this key level, which is also over the previous day high. So can kind of expect, something like that on the SPY. We shall see. You can clearly see it was acting as resistance here. You want to see that break and then flip into support to move higher. Yeah, Tesla, it's like $4 away, so it definitely can. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Tesla definitely can. Okay, we got about a minute and 10 seconds here. You can see a lot of pop on things. That's by retesting, over this daily 685 I just showed you and the previous day high. So things seem to be moving pretty well with the SPY on this move. Pretty much in sync. Hands off Nvidia. Like I said, there's no more key levels up here on Nvidia, so really nothing there. Tesla. So technically, Apple did pull back and retest this. We got about 10 seconds here, so we'll see. Like I said, we also have red folder news at 7 a.m., 30 minutes after open. So 2 and 1. Like I said, a lot of thin volume on Apple, so straight up equals straight down. I just wouldn't be surprised. We got that. So Apple seems to be kind of in sync with the SPY. I'm not too surprised. As we know, I don't trade this first 2-minute candle, so it's going to be patient, let price develop. This is really a news catalyst play here on the video. Ignoring Tesla, sitting in the middle of no man's land. Prices in between the pre-market high, the pre-market low, the previous day high, the previous day low, and sitting in the channel. So nothing there on Tesla right now. We definitely see buyers are really defending this 269.10 here on Apple. Yeah, I would rule my main watch. This is the only thing that's kind of giving me a setup, but if we don't get that, then that's a big wick candle. It's a dangerous candle. I'm not messing with that. And then also remember, Tesla's now sitting in a channel on a technical standpoint. So, over the next couple of days, or even today, if we just start seeing crappy price action on this thing, we can't really be surprised. It's crazy. Apple sweeps this previous day's low liquidity on the dot and then just shoots to the upside. It's wild. Little divergence here with the SPY and with the Qs. SPY's first 2-minute candle is a strong bearish candle, and Qs rip to the upside. So we'll see divergence here. Qs is flirting with this previous day's high. You can see Qs is sitting above. So if we pull back to that, that's valid, just because technically that's a gap fill, right? If we just continue higher, that's a gap and go on the Qs. This thing has 210. It's already like $2 away from all-time highs. Like I said, this is a news catalyst play here on Nvidia. Also now another gap, I think. Let's see. And you can see kind of the sideways action here on Apple and Tesla, and then Nvidia just moving straight to the upside. There's some strong divergence here on the SPY and the Q. SPY is pulling back very heavy. SPY hasn't had a single up close candle yet, and at least on the 2-minute time frame. And the first 4 minutes on the Qs is upside. So strong divergence here on these two names. All right, now Qs is pulling back. Like I said, Qs has to fill this gap. So and then I'm not going to blindly go long here with the overall market pulling back. Could be an inside bar day. SPY is in between the previous day high and previous day low. But on a technical standpoint, this is what I was looking for. The overall market to just pull back. We'll see what happens here on Apple. As we know, these are one of my favorite setups. We know we're not looking to short this name. But if this market stays heavy, I'm going to need to be a little bit more patient to see like some clear divergence on this name. But you can see Apple's pulling back. This is a strong pullback here on Nvidia. We're already near low day. Now you start to see some divergence here on Tesla. Straight downside on SPY, just crazy. Yeah, market's pulling back pretty heavy right now. Still has some ways away, so I'm not going to wag my toe too much, but clear divergence on this name. Maybe we could see a low day bounce here, but from the Qs. Like I said, we know we're not looking to short Apple, so relative weakness here on Apple. I'm almost done with this educational video on entry confirmations. This is like a really good, like this is why you're very patient. I break this down. That's why you're very patient at these key levels. Like I said, Tesla's like in this channel, so I'm really not going to wag my toe too much over this rally. You can see big rejection here on the Qs. I did fill the gap though. It did fill the gap, so maybe it holds this previous day high. We'll see. But you can clearly look at the SPY. Like definitely relative. Look at that. I mean, both of these are pretty heavy right now, but SPY not a single up close candle. This is healthy though. I mean, it's an inside bar day, so price really isn't moving higher or lower. Got to remember that on a technical standpoint, but it's kind of what I wanted to see, to be completely honest. I did not want to see this market have another gap up day and another gap to fill. If Apple reclaims this 269 and give us another break and retest setup, I love it. Right now, Tesla's really, I guess, the main watch. Nvidia's doing nothing. If we break out of this 466.50 with good displacement and momentum on Tesla, I'm taking that. This is the A plus trade, we're waiting for that. And this clear divergence against the overall market, I love that. That's what I want to see. Now you can see we just gave up the previous day high here on the Qs. Clear divergence. SPY moving, Qs pulling back, SPY pulling back. This is what I love to see. This shows me that buyers are in control. I'm looking to really play like two strike prices out of the money here. Volume's kind of low. I would prefer, yeah, two strikes out of the money on Tesla. Let's see. I have Tesla on my left screen as well on the 15-minute. This thing's just straight upside. You can clearly see straight bullish since we opened. Nothing on the video. Even though the volume isn't that high on this one, I'm not too worried about it just because it's Tesla. So like, I'm not worried about getting filled, even though that has happened to me before on a name like Tesla. I'll be looking at these because we know how much Tesla moves on the underline. So if these calls can move in the money, they will start to print. And it's a Monday, so it's a very safe play. It is a Monday, so I'm not really worried about that. Tesla looks the best. Cleanest price action so far. Divergence against the overall market, which is clearly still pulling back while Tesla is not. Um, and this is our A plus trade. This is our A plus setup. So we'll see. We do have 19 minutes, 18 now until red for it happens. So I would kind of like for us to stay under this level prior to that happening, but we'll see. You can see Q is a little heavy. No shocker though. I mean, we're kind of starting to form a channel up here. Like I said, we're just back in between the previous day high and the previous day low, so not really much going on. And then we'll just see what red folder news does. You can see SPY is way heavier than the Qs, way heavier. Right. It's no shocker. We see a little bit of seller step up at this 466. All right, straight down equals straight up. There's nothing in here on Apple. And between 269 and 10, there's nothing in here. So, like I broke down, just be looking for a pullback long off of this. Remember, we broke this, but we never got the retest. We broke this 264, never got the retest. So this is like an A plus setup here setting up if we can have buyers step up at the 264 or 5, and we actually get that entire pullback today. Like I said, these are the dips. This is where you want to buy, right? And then already be in a position as we gravitate higher. So let's see, crappy price action on Nvidia. Nvidia probably give you maybe 2 clean setups a week. Sometimes like average 1, I would say. At least based on how I trade off of key levels. But other than that, clean price action here on Apple. Like it's not chopping. You can clearly see here, and then you can see the price action here on Nvidia, and then Tesla. That's kind of why you wait the first 2 minutes, or even like right at open. It's very aggressive, and I don't know. I feel like to an extent you are gambling a little bit if you just take a trade right at open, because you pull back here. If you're aggressive, right, and you got risk management in place, you can take a long off this pullback because you're risking off this 269.10. That's a very aggressive entry. You can see buyers did try and step up, pre-market, and then here, and then we ultimately just ended up failing under. Most time, like if I can, I really don't even want to take a trade the first 5 minutes of market open. But if it sets up, I'll take it. But 100%, that first 2 minute candle, I'm hands off. Tesla looks good. Tesla looks good. Right? Look at this. This thing looks solid. It does. Remember 445 is the key level. If you enter that pullback long down here, I mean, golly, Tesla looks super solid. Yeah, kind of just an inside bar day right now on the Qs and the SPY. Yeah, that's the pre-market low. On the 2 minute SPY looks terrible, like just straight downside. Watching Tesla here. I'll be looking at the 470 calls. Solid breakout. Kind of looking for some displacement. We'll see. Definitely got that. I need a little bit more displacement. Just a little bit more. Yeah, that's not enough displacement for me. So Patient pace. Remember that. We're not going to FOMO into that. Like I always say, when we get a breakout, I'm not looking for the retest. I'm looking for displacement. So our key level here is 466.50. Candle closed at 467.07. So that's a displacement candle. Smooth is pulling back pretty heavy right now. And another thing I'm a little skeptical of is you have red photo news coming. Look at that. That market's falling heavy. Yeah, I'm gonna be patient here. Have to be. Never really got this retest. I'm comfortable just like scaling down and just risking off this level, having a wider stop. But I want to see. Things are pulling back pretty heavy. It's kind of stalling a little bit. So we'll see. I still need like this proper retest. And I do not want to get caught in a candle, a red photo news candle. Remember, what we're seeing right now is just our displacement. We're just seeing our displacement, right? That, what was this, 46707? Yeah. So we're just waiting for our displacement. I mean, now we're just waiting for our retest, I should say. I'm surprised, like we say, bro, when Tesla runs, it runs. When Tesla runs, it runs. Pretty overextended. We only got one down close candle since market open, so I'm just waiting for this retest. I want to see what this red photo news does as well. Like to me, this is a breakout. This is not a break and retest. That's not a break and retest. Q's pulled back, defending this 632 fairly well. SPY is just dropping, bro. Yeah, we'll see if we get this retest here. If we don't, we don't. I'm not gonna FOMO into that. If Apple can pull back to this 464.05, it's super solid as well. So I will be watching that. If we pull back here, I'll definitely take my shot. Um, Damn, I just don't like the timing of this because we got about 4 minutes until red photo news comes out. So anything can really happen. I don't like that. See, this thing's just straight upside. We never got a break and retest. If you play like this break and instant retest, you're playing really the momentum here. You're playing the momentum here. I need displacement for sure. This is setting up. This looks solid. You cannot let FOMO take over. You can't wag your tail when you're like, finally, we broke out of this. Right? We're playing a break and retest off a daily time frame. Right? We're trading on the daily. We're just using the lower time frame for precision entries. So this is a big breakout. Like that, you've seen me skip these plenty of times. Like that is not enough displacement for me on a breakout. Even Apple looks good. Like if Apple reclaims its 269.10, that's a valid shot. We'll see what Tesla does here. We got about 4 minutes until red photo news comes out. I really don't want to be in a trade when that comes out, to be honest. Like I said, I'm a risk manager before a trader. I don't want to do that. So we'll see. I mean, like this, look at this breakout. That's a breakout. We never got this retest. There's just strong bullish momentum to the upside. I don't want to be at this high. I would love to enter down here and then target the swing high, and then see if this can turn into support and then move higher. I'm loving this little recovery here on Apple. We'll see, because Apple could just be retesting this 269.10 and then reject. Yeah, I don't think we'll get the retest. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's one A plus trade. We know that. We know that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Man, so out of 14 minutes, we've only had one down close candle. That's it. So being very patient. Remember, right? This is a big breakout on the daily time frame. This is still our key level. This still needs a retest. So we're not going to FOMO into that. We got about 3 minutes here. Apple looks solid. Like if Apple reclaims that 269, and we could break through that high day, that looks super solid. Maybe here you could have said, maybe I could have entered, but still, I just needed a pullback. Like these are all just like bullish green candles to the upside. You were playing the momentum here. If you caught this, that was a great momentum catch. But just straight upside, we only had 3 down close candles. I was not messing with that. Yeah, no surprise here. Like we said, when Tesla runs, it runs. And then we've been sitting in a channel. Like I said, we haven't broke outside of 466. It's been almost a year. So this is a big blow off top. It's like the context matters. This is a big blow off top. The pre-market video, I said we haven't touched this since December 23rd or like 22nd of 2024. It's been almost a year since price has even been above this. So this is a big blow off. I'm not surprised with that. And that's why, right? You always hear me say, we want to be in a trade down here before we even get up here because we know that's coming. Price action just wasn't clean all week, sitting around 450, unfortunately. This may set up today, may set up tomorrow. But this did not fit my criteria. I never got a retest here. Never got a retest. I know in the future we still need this pullback, even if we do gravitate towards all-time highs today. This is a big breakout on the daily time frame. So let's see. Q's is defending this 632.15 fairly well. I mean, clearly just a bearish day, a pullback type of day. Look at SPY. Like SPY is just so heavy. This thing is trending to the downside. Like I said, it's still an inside bar day, but technically speaking, this is what I wanted, right? I just wanted this market to like continue to pull back. If we can get under this previous day low, remember, we're still waiting for like this big, see, we're kind of just forming a channel up here. So I don't care too much about that. We still got this gap to fill. And like I said, at this 673, that is really our A plus long. That's really our A plus long. Trying to be patient. Some people probably look for like this order block and then you get stopped out. And it sucks you got stopped out because you should be risking off a key level on the daily, which is at 466. So to each their own. Order blocks work like if we're really, really trending, which you can clearly see we are. But you tell me what's the better, higher probability setup, off this or off that? Because if we break under 466.50, we know our thesis is now incorrect. If we break under this order block, our thesis is still correct, but you took a loss. Just gotta be patient here. Systematic, robotic. You don't want to take these trades. This is chasing it for sure. Like I said, it's always easy to say in hindsight. But to get this breakout over this key level and then take, this instant retest with lack of displacement, you can't be surprised if you get stopped out here. It's been a year since we've been over that. Yeah. She's just really trying hard to defend this 632.15. Really trying. You can see here, it's really trying. I'm looking to my right on the 2-minute time frame, but Q's and SPY seems to be in sync now, both just trending to the downside. We'll see. If I don't get that, that's fine. I don't care. But this, I mean, that's a textbook play. If I don't get the retest, I don't get the retest. That's just how it goes sometimes. Kind of one of those days. Really nothing else going on really besides Tesla. You can see Nvidia trying to get under the lower day. So we'll see. I'm gonna be a little bit more patient today because I don't know if Apple just wants to sit in between these two, then so be it. But this pullback to this 264.5 is really that's the A plus pullback long. So we shall see. Like I said, the pullback on this market, this is normal. This is needed, to be honest. See, we're not really doing anything up here. Like now we're just starting to form a channel up here. You can see we moved higher, consolidation. So we still need this pullback. So there's really not much going on. Like I said, I'd rather see this market pull back than just continue higher. That's just my personal opinion. I'd rather see that. It's too much in volume and gaps. Since I looked at this, like it's getting a little tired. Now the thing is, let's say we do pull back and retest this. I still got to read that because the market could just be pulling this thing down. We'll see. We do have our first 15-minute red candle here on the daily. I'm sorry, on the 15-minute. So let's see everything's pulling back. Q's is starting to give up this 632. You can see it was holding that support during the pre-market. It's giving that up now. Still an anti-bar day, but every 15-minute candle, just straight downside. Straight downside. What am I looking for on the Qs? On Tesla? That enter here, target up here, and then I would want to see this turn into support. Right? Break, retest. This can continue lower, so I wouldn't be surprised. Right? Trust me, this is good. This market pulling back is good. I did not want to see this thing gap up and then make new all-time highs. So I'm sorry if I'm the party pooper, but I did not want to see that. We already started last week with just a huge gap and then a move to the upside. We're just going to display patience here on Tesla. Stay true to our system, right? We never got a break and retest. If you're playing the break in the instant retest, you're playing momentum. Because if you play the instant retest, you never got proper displacement. Never got proper displacement. Right? This was a good displacement candle. I was looking for the retest here. To me, this is not a retest candle. We really just went red to green, and then your risk would just be like right under here. So not bad for a Monday, but you can clearly see that's just like straight momentum. So if we don't get this, that is 100% fine. Right now, I'm sorry, Q's is retesting that. And if you can see something like that, that's valid. Big pop here on the market. Wouldn't be surprised if we reclaim this and then that gets fueled higher. I would not be surprised. Yeah, just one of those, just a nice trendy day on Tesla. The momentum's so strong, you just never really got that retest. You never really got that retest. You can clearly see. I hope these visuals help. If you took the candle closure like over this level here, you're literally just playing momentum. You're not playing the break and retest there. Like I said, I trade with like pretty serious capital, so I'm not in a rush to like take a trade. I'm not gonna FOMO into anything. So I'm gonna see this market's pretty heavy. I'm still looking for the deeper pullback long, but this is valid. Like if you wanted to take this, what do I always say? When we fell a key level and then reclaim it with momentum, that's a valid shot. Like I said, this market's pretty heavy. I'm expecting this thing to pull back more, so I'm not looking to take that trade. Um, Super valid day on Tesla. Just look at the 15-minute here on Tesla, right? Just never got that retest. Never got that retest. That's a strong breakout. But are we surprised? Absolutely not. I broke this down. Look left. Look at that bottom left. 12/26, 2024. You can see at the top right, right above the all-time high. It tells you the date. We have not been above this level since then. So when we get a big breakout like this, it's really no shocker. Now, what do I know, or what do I teach? We can kind of see some buyers stepping in. It's still very early. It hasn't even been, market hasn't even been open for an hour. But you can see this is a breakout on the daily. So if price wants to continue higher, what am I going to wait for the next day or two? For the daily candle to form above, right, this 466, and then pull back and do that. That's just how I'm always thinking. I don't really FOMO into positions. This thing is still setting up. And honestly, we could just fell under this. Right? I mean, look at the daily. There's sellers stepping in here. No surprise. We could just have, a big wick above and the daily candle barely close under. That's a possibility. So that's why we kind of don't FOMO. We just wait. You can clearly see Q's is doing exactly what I said it would. Right? It's not a surprise. We fell a key level. People get squeezed. We reclaim and feel this. We see this every single day. Every single day. Every day. Look at that. If you took this on a 0DTE, you're getting paid right now. You're getting paid. Look at that. We see that every day. That's why I said these are my favorite setups. That's what I'm kind of looking for here on Apple. But these are my favorite setups. This thing's still moving. We went from, on a zero, we went from, I'll do the candle close, 332, 333.20 on a zero. Yeah, that's a big payday right there. So still being patient here on, wow, look at that. That's crazy. I do like Apple. I am watching Apple. Swing low, swing low. We just broke over the swing low. That's a breaker structure. So I do like Apple. If Apple can reclaim over the 269.10, I do like that. I'll take that shot. You can see here on Tesla on the 15-minute, we just had that big breakout. So it's doing its thing. It's trying to pull back. We went from 474. We pushed back down to 469. So we'll see. They might be a little bit exhausted. We do the damage, body tells the story. I mean, the 632.15, it did its job. Did its job. Right. And this is one like I don't FOMO into things. As long as Tesla has not really taken out its all-time high yet, this 466.50 is still our key level to take a trade off of. Right? It may set up tomorrow, it may set up today. We'll see. We haven't even been open for an hour. But you saw the visual that I'm looking for, right? We still need this retest. You saw that the breakout on the daily time frame that I showed you. We can't FOMO into this. And this was just straight upside. Honestly, I was looking for a retest, but like I always say, Tesla can consolidate forever, but it makes up for its consolidation periods. It does. When it goes, it goes. I've broken this down before in the past. Like, remember all of this? And then in 2 days, wow, in 2 days, we made up for that entire consolidation period. Just back to back, like straight upside. So we'll see. Being patient here. I mean, we now have another 15-minute candle that's forming red. So, but I hope you see what I mean. Like, we never got this retest. We just had a blow off top, which is expected, right? We were forming a channel. So we see this day in and day out all the time. We saw it on AMD. What was that? 2 weeks ago. We were looking for the retest, and the breakout was just so strong. We never got it. It made all-time highs. Like, this looks good. We're just gonna be patient here. This looks really good. All right, looking for that. We'll be risking right under here. We want to target here. We want to see that. Do that. Maybe scale out here. How do you know a stock is trending? Dips are getting bought up aggressively. The top of this range will now hold a support, and then you look for that continuation higher. So I'm not going to blindly long here just because. Let me show you. All right, look at Q's. Q's is falling. It's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. So we see this thing playing out on the 15-minute here on Tesla. Patient pays. Patience pays. Because this could, honestly, this really could be a bull trap. If we fell under this, this is just a bull trap. We never got the retest. Straight up equals straight down. We're seeing that right now. Straight up equals straight down. When you do this for a while and you get enough screen time, those big breakouts don't scare you because you know, like, all right, I'm going to get a pullback if I did my job and marked a key level, the proper key level. And sometimes you don't, but 8 times out of 10, you do. So how do we know this breakout is even valid? This, right? Seeing buyer step in there. That's how we'll know. Really nothing on Nvidia. So Q's finally fell under 632.15. And you can just look at the SPY. Like SPY is just nada. Yeah, this thing's just moving lower. I mean, Q's is still flirting with this, so we'll see. It's still flirting. It really hasn't given this up yet. Kind of defending this lower day here. So we'll see. Look at Apple. Look at Apple. It's not sitting near a key level, but look at Apple. Now we're moving higher. We broke the swing high. This thing is stair stepping higher. You can clearly see. Like I said, I'm not going to FOMO or chase this. I still need a deeper pullback. I feel like it's still doing that. So we'll see. If Apple sets up, I wouldn't mind like playing the retest over 269.10, targeting the high day, and just seeing if we can get some continuation. There's definitely divergence here on Apple and the Qs and the SPY. I'm not going to ignore this just to force this. If Apple gives me this break and retest over 269.10, I'm taking that shot. Look at this thing, just stair stepping. Right, just stair stepping higher. That's textbook. Like I said, we're bullish bias on this name. We got a deep enough pullback here. 467. My stop loss would be a little bit under 465. That's a no-go for me. Maybe Apple. Like I said, you can enter here. As long as you're above 466, it's valid, but this is like pretty much a risk. That's your risk. It's a no-go for me. Starting to turn this into resistance. So if we get this, I would still be waiting for the break and retest, because when we pull it back, buyers never really showed their hands on Apple. Buyers never showed their hands here. So we're not really playing a reclaim because we never held it. So we still need like a break and retest above that. Let's see. Kind of give you a visual of what we're seeing here. Apple, we can see that, which is valid, but we want to see something like that. Um, as long as we are in here on Tesla, kind of hands off, this could take all the time it wants, but this is what we're looking for. Buyer step up here, and you can see in the video, it's just sitting in the range. It's in between here and here, and it's not even sitting near key level. So I would kind of want something like this, pulling back towards its key level. But that's kind of the breakdown right now on all these names. So I'm looking at Tesla here. I'll be looking at the 472.50 calls. So I'm not just gonna blindly take this. Um, Apple's done that twice now. See the cues? And then look at Tesla now on the 15. Look at that. Right, it's a falling knife. I have Tesla up to my left-hand side too. Be patient here on this on that entry. Took a little risk. If I lose this, I'll take it. Mark's just pretty heavy, but seeing buyer stuff up there, it's kind of a shot I gotta take. This is very heavy right now. Yeah, market's super heavy. So we'll see. It's kind of what I didn't want, but I saw something like that, momentum candle. I gotta take that. See, the thing is, it's kind of holding up while this market is pulling back very heavy. Like the contracts are somewhat holding their value. Like I'm up 2%, so but like see that? Like it's this thing's trying. If we can get like a curl, like something like that, I like it. I gotta take my risk off that though. Seeing something like that, I have to. This market is very heavy right now, but Tesla's like really trying to hold up. So I'm not looking to be greedy here, but I just want to see, like that's a shot I have to take. I understand, like I gotta embrace this, kind of just sit in this. Like this somewhat looks like, see that? That's exactly what I'm seeing. I saw buyer step up there. I gotta take that. Just have to be patient. These contracts are holding. Like I'm up 3%. The market's just heavy. It's very heavy. I feel like if we get stopped out on here, it's really just because the market's heavy. I waited for the deepest pullback I could to just risk off of. So kind of just got to embrace the pain here. The Qs is trying to give us a little lower day bounce, but this thing is trending lower, so like I would 100% take this trade again. The contracts are holding. It's they're trying. I'm at 1%, so I feel like the move is like already a little exhausted. Just obviously this big breakout. We're seeing a low day bounce here on the Qs. We'll see. SPY's pretty much pulled back to the previous day low. Buyers are trying to step up there a little bit. So like I'd love to see like a little momentum break like that. That would be solid. I'm down 2% right now. But see these buyers stepping in, like bro, now I'm back in the green. Like this is a good shot. I don't care. Like if I lose that, that's a good loss. If anything, if this market wasn't heavy, I would have looked to add to my position here. If this market wasn't so heavy. I just don't trust that. Okay, we're back. We're up 3%. That is beautiful. Like that's what you want to see. Buyers step up aggressively here. Look at this candle. Like that is what you want to see. So the 15-minute looks great. We're seeing this low day bounce here. I'll look to maybe get out or scale out once I'm up like maybe 10%. We'll see. Oh, beauty. Beautiful. Come on. I don't trade my P&L, but when you get this move, right, I'm really focused on the RR. So if these comps can hit like at least over 10%, I'll be okay. Right, like I said, I'm not trying to sell based on dollar amount. If this thing wants to have momentum, like I'm looking at the momentum. Come on, Tesla. Give us a great day. Give us a great day. Come on, Tesla. There we go. Nice.